Vision at 800-300-1986.
And we welcome you back as we are getting set for Game 2 of our doubleheader between Post States and Brandon Valley. And this is getting underway quickly here. We're going to be getting ready for 20 minutes after Game 1 put to an end. We're still writing down lineups here for this ball game, but both teams are ready to go. Ryland Carroll's back on the mound, and he is ready to throw in game number 2. He will be the starter. Will Danberg will go opposite of him. As we look at the starting lineup for Post State, Dawson Getz will lead things off as he will be the shortstop. It'll be Sutton Sunshine, the catcher, batting second. Cooper Twilliger, the first baseman, will bat third. Ridge Leinbach, the left fielder, batting fourth. Charlie Simpson, the DH, will bat fifth. Porter Hunsley batting sixth. He's a center fielder. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, batting seventh. Trevor Rouse, the right fielder, will bat will bat eighth. And then it will be Hudson Stosher to bat ninth. He is the second baseman as the first pitch will come in and miss for ball one as we are underway at 5:07. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. It counts quickly 2-0 from Ryland Carroll to Dawson Getz to get us underway in our second game. That's a quick turnaround. That's about as fast as we've ever gone between games, as there's a 2-0 swing and a miss from Getz, and the count's now 2-1. Carroll threw in game number 1. He threw a total of 32 pitches. Here's a fly ball that's foul on the right side. That one just misses some of the kids that are out there as it bounces around. It might have gone off of a car as well. Well, the count's now 2-2. 2-2 pitch from Carroll. Taken on the outside corner for strike 3, and Dawson Getz will lead off the ball game. Caught looking, and there's one down to bring up Sutton Sunshine. Again, Carroll threw 2 innings, threw 32 pitches. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He stays under the minimum, or the maximum you could go in a game to come back in game 2. And the pitch misses for ball 1. Around 40 pitches that you can't throw to be able to come back. 45 pitches you can't come back and throw game 2. That one's over for a strike. The count's 1-1. Post 22 got caught with that against Yankton in the second game of their doubleheader. Ended up being a forfeit loss. That's their only loss in South Dakota play for Post 22. That one's over for a strike. The count's quickly 1-2 here to Sutton Sunshine. The number 2 man in the batting order for Post States. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs. Evens a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Danberg will take the mound. First time we'll see him today. Whenever the bottom of the first comes around, this will be fouled off the foot of Sunshine. Didn't feel great, but he's able to step that one off and get back in the box. The 2-2 count here to the leadoff is the number 2 man in the top of the first inning here in game 2. And the Eights need this one. Things are a lot easier for the Eights to host if they end up winning this ball game. That one just misses inside, and the count's now full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. At 1-1 and Post 320 winning. That'll be taken at the top of the zone for strike 3, and that's back-to-back strikeouts looking. And there's 2 down here at the top of the first, and it'll bring up Cooper Twilliger, the number 3 man. That also, for Ryland Carroll, he's thrown 32 pitches officially, so he can throw 73 in this game, other than finishing the at-bat. But you have 105 per the day, and then you are able to continue from game 1 to game 2. It doesn't start over to throw 105 in the second game. Twilliger check swing, but a full swing. The count's 1-1. So again, Post State going 1-1. Post 320 would have to get to the 500 win percentage. Counts 1-2. And then Huron would have to sweep Brandon Valley tomorrow for them to not be hosting. Anything else that happens will be Post State hosting, but a 3-strikeout first inning for Ryland Carroll to lead off this game. No score as we head to the bottom of the first between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Bottom of the first, no score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. As we go through the lineup for Brandon Valley, post 131, Braden Knutson will lead things off. He's the shortstop, followed by Ryder Mueller, the second baseman. Ryland Carroll, about 30, is the pitcher, and then will be the DH whenever his time is done on the mound. It's somewhat kind of the Ohtani rule that you could say. Max Peters, the first baseman, will about 4th. Brighton Stroh, the center fielder, about 5th. Jack Blomgren, the catcher, will bat 6th. Cooper Ness, the right fielder, batting 7th. Will Van Loor, the third baseman, batting 8th. And Caleb Severin, the left fielder, batting 9th against Will Danberg. And for Will Danberg, this will be his 8th start of the season. Only Porter Hunsley has more appearances than Will Danberg, who is making his team-leading 8th start. 4-1 of the season for Danberg. 44 hits, 25 runs, 17 of them earned, 12 walks, 17 strikeouts, an ERA at 3.16, a whip at 1.49, batting average against at 288. A first pitch strike percentage at 61.5%. First pitch strike there, but it's lined into center field, and it will drop in front of Porter Hunsley. One pitch, and the leadoff man is on base to kick off the bottom of the first inning.
Knutson with the single.
And it brings up Ryder Mueller.
Second baseman, number 41,
So again,
Ryder Mueller.
some of the things for Post States, you know, you don't really want to look at them going 0-2 right now, but we can talk about that as the game goes along. Because it is a possibility now that they've lost that first game, that's still there as the first pitch, showing bunt, pulling it back and taking high for ball 1 is Ryder Mueller. But 7 scenarios, make that 8 scenarios, 7 scenarios are out the door for Post State, and all 7 of them were going to be the 8s hosting at 2-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be a bunt down the third base line, easily played for Grayson Hunsley. He'll fire a strike, and there's one down. For the sacrifice is successful, 5-3 for Mueller, and it brings up Ryland Carroll. So again, they're still going 1-1, and Post 320 does not go 3-1 this weekend. The 8s will be hosting. If Post 320 does go 3-1 or better, and Post 8 finishes at 1-1, Huron would have to sweep for the 8s. Huron would have to sweep, and Harrisburg would have to not be swept by Brookings for them to not host. So that's, you know, something that possibly could happen, but a little bit less likely. It's then if Pierre is 0-2, that they need some big help to make sure that they find a way to host, and that would be also having Brandon Valley help them out tomorrow if they finish at 0-2. This will hit Ryland Carroll, and so the pitcher is hit by the pitch. It's now first and second with 1 out. And it brings up Max Peters, the first baseman. Mention it too that it is a
Brought to you by First Premier Bank. Your life, your money.
He's the
First Premier
Shohei
Bank.
Ohtani rule that you can
Investing in you.
DH your pitcher, put him in the lineup, and then DH him after he is done. So whoever replaces him, as long as he does not come from the field, which obviously Coach Jeremy Van Heel knows who his first man in relief is going to be. It's going to be someone that is coming off the bench for them and not, someone that's going to be coming from the field, so he can still be the DH. That'll miss high and outside for ball one. Otherwise, Carroll would have to go back to his third base position where he was starting in game one. Max Peters to the plate. He has an RBI in game one with a bases loaded walk that came in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be flown out towards right field. Backing up is the right fielder. Rounds is going to bounce off the wall. One run will come in to score. They're going to hold up the second runner. It is an RBI double, and Brandon Valley takes the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Double for Peters.
Second RBI today for Max Peters. And Brighton Stroh, who drove in 2 runs for Brandon Valley in game one, has 2 men in scoring position with 1 out here at the bottom of the first. Infield will stay mostly even with the speed of the turf. He can still throw a guy out on a sharp ground ball as the first pitch will miss upstairs for ball one. Ridge Lineback is in left, Porter Hunsley in center, Trevor Rounds in right, Grayson Hunsley at third, Dawson Getz at short, Hudson Stocher at second, and Cooper Twilliger at first, with Sutton Sunshine behind the plate. That pitch will bounce in, and the count's 2-0. Danbury trying to limit the damage here in the first inning. We said that in game one. J.J. Buckles is able to do it to just 2 runs. But those 2 runs were costly at the end of this one. Here's a ground ball. Hunsley will field at third. He looks the runner back to third and will retire Brighton Stroh. That's a good play there from Grayson Hunsley at the hot corner. It wasn't coming in hot, but it was a good play for Hunsley to keep him at third base, and there's now 2 down. And it's the catcher, Jack Blomgren. They'll have a chance to make this a crooked number in the first inning.
Catcher, number 3, Jack Blomgren.
So at third is Rylan Carroll, the pitcher. Max Peters is on at second after the double from Peters. And the catcher, Blomgren, trying to make this a 2 or 3-0 lead. And the first pitch will hit him in the helmet. And there's now the bases loaded here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. I'm not sure what
Blomgren
might be going on there, too.
Brought to you by Sioux Falls.
As Blomgren will take his base with the bases loaded.
Bumps and bruises. Blomgren, hit by pitch.
Obviously, nobody's going to be too happy about it, but there look like there's a little bit of some conversation between him and Sutton Sunshine. As now running would be Jake Halseth for the catcher, and Blomgren will be courtesy running with 2 outs. And now it's Cooper Ness, the right fielder. So Cooper Ness, with the bases loaded, his first plate appearance is a big spot. There's a fly ball to center field. Porter Hunsley going back. He'll get underneath it and make the catch. And a big third out to get out of that inning with very limited damage. 1 run scores on 2 hits in the inning. There are no errors, but 3 men left on base. 1-0 Brandon Valley lead at the end of 1 inning over Post State. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Wagner Auto in Pierre has been hitting home runs for over 100 years, delivering quality vehicles and top-notch service to our community. Whether you need a rugged truck, a dependable SUV, or a fuel-efficient car, we've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road. Proud sponsor of this season's baseball action, we're here to help you drive home a great deal. Stop by today or visit WagnerAuto.com. Wagner Auto, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Wahi Federal Credit Union member? At a Wahi Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at a Wahi Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Hawaii Federal Credit Union.
It is the top of the second. 1-0 lead American Family Insurance. Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard for Brandon Valley over Post 8. 4, 5, and 6, Ridge Lineback, Charlie Simpson, and Porter Hunsley. Anybody reaches base, it'll be Grayson Hunsley. 3 strikeouts in the first inning, all in a row for the pitcher, Rylan Carroll. As we can go around the horn defensively here in just a moment. We did not do that in the first inning. Ridge Lineback, he is coming in 0 for 4 in game 1. Chance to start off on the strong note here in this top of the second, as the first pitch will be on the outside edge for strike 1. 1 run on 2 hits in that first inning for Brandon Valley. That will be at the very bottom of that zone. Lineback had a quick look back as it counts 0-2. That'll be well outside, and the count's now 1-2. Carroll's looking for his 4th strikeout and 4 at-bats against Post 8. Let's start this ball game. 1-2 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-2. 2-2 pitch. Lineback rips it down over the first base line, and that will get through for a base hit. He's now 1 for 5 today. And Lineback will be the leadoff man, first base runner for Post 8. And it brings up Charlie Simpson, the DH, here in game 2 after catching game number 1. Simpson went 0 for 3, grounded into a double play in the top of the 7th after drawing a walk in the top of the 1st. First pitch to him, missing high and outside for ball 1. Will Danberg, who hit 2 guys in that first inning, gave up 2 hits, was able to tiptoe his way to only giving up 1 run, as the count's now 2-0 here to Simpson. Two-0 pitch to Charlie Simpson. That'll miss, and the count's now 3-0. After 3 straight strikeouts in the first inning, leadoff single, and now a 3-0 count here to Simpson, who will most likely be taking all the way. 3-0 pitch, he does take it, and it's just below the belt for a strike, and the count's 3-1. Good hitter's count here for Simpson. 3-1 pitch to him. Misses upstairs for ball 4, and that will draw a walk to make it first and second now with nobody out. And the go-ahead run is now on base, and the tying run in scoring position here with nobody out in the top of the second inning. Catcher and Jack Blomgren will go out and make sure that the right sign, there'd be the second or third sign, whatever they want to try and do, making sure that those signs are correct. Caleb Severn is out left, Brighton Stroh in center, Cooper Ness in right, Will Van Loor, the third baseman, Braden Knudsen, the shortstop, Ryder Mueller, the second baseman, Max Peters at first, Jack Blomgren behind the plates, and Rylan Carroll will come set and deliver the first pitch to Porter Hunsley. Now a fake pickoff attempt. The shortstop, Knudsen, was there at the bag, and then he was starting to walk away by the time that Carroll picked up his foot and turned towards second. Now he'll deliver the first pitch. Hunsley showing bunt, pulls it back and taking it outside for ball 1. Porter Hunsley went 0 for 2 in game number 1, walked in the second, then was retired on a fly ball to right and a ground down to the second baseman. The only three trips he had in that ball game. 1-0 pitch, showing bunt. That is on the plate. That's a fair ball. The throw to third. They got him out of third. Lineback thought maybe it was foul. He wasn't full jog, but he wasn't running as quick as he should be if that ball was in fair territory. But it bounced right off the plate and then right out in front. And it ends up being a fielder's choice, 2-5. And there's one down now here in the top of the second inning. And it's Grayson Hunsley. First pitch swinging, he fouls that off of his foot. And the count's 0-1. Oh, 0-1 pitch here to Hunsley. That'll miss low and away. Good stop there by the catcher and Blomgren. Counts 1-1. Grayson Hunsley 0 for 3 in game one. He popped out of the second baseman, flew out to center and grounded out to the shortstop in his 3 trips to the plate in that first game. That'll miss low, and the count's 2-1 now here to Grayson Hunsley. Trevor Rounds and then Hudson Stosher. The next 2 guys on deck. The next 2 guys up to the plate. 2-1 pitch. That'll miss high and outside. The count's now 3-1. Hitter's count here for Hunsley. Try and drive it somewhere in the gap and tie the ball game up. 3-1 pitch. That one is on the outside corner for a strike. Counts 3-2, not the spot that Hunsley was looking at, and he'll settle into a full count. Carroll comes set, delivers the payoff pitch to Grayson Hunsley. Walked him. Pitch in the turf. And it's a walk to load the bases with 1 out here in the top of the second.
Walk for Hunsley.
And it brings up the right fielder, Trevor Rounds.
11, Trevor Rounds.
And this will draw a mound visit with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Rounds, who is 0 for 2 in game one, drew a walk in the top of the 6th. Just got to find a way, I mean, outside of, ground ball back to the pitcher or something that we throw home for a 4-side, just got to find a way to get on base. Or hit something in the outfield to drive in the run on the sac fly. If you're going to get out, have to be a productive out. Tie the ball game up, if not, just reach base and find your way to tie the ball game up. So now Trevor Rounds. First pitch to him will be taken at the knees for strike 1. Rounds coming into the day hitting .417 with runners in scoring position, but swings and misses at the 0-1 pitch, and the count's now 0-2. To actually get the right number for you, he's hitting 143 with runners in scoring position. 0-2 pitch, taken for strike 3, and there's now 2 down.
Strikeout for Carroll, brought to you by Horizon Pet Care.
Big strikeout for the second out, and now it's Hudson Stosher to the plate.
Strikeout, Carroll.
Stosher had the first hit in game number 1 for the Eights. That game with 2 outs at the top of the second. Now there's 2 outs at the top of the second here. First pitch will bounce away, but not far enough from Blomgren, and the count's 1-0. One-0 pitch to Stosher. That'll miss low, and it's now a 2-0 count in favor of Stosher. Top of the order is up next. Dawson Getz wants his crack at trying to give the Eights the lead. That one is at the eyes for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. And post-state crowd not happy about that strike call. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-2. It changed the complexity of that bat from a 3-0 count to a 2-1 count. Two-two pitch here from Carroll to Stosher. That one is, again, above the strike zone, but called for strike 3. Stosher did not think it was strike 3. That one was, again, pretty high, but that will retire the side here at the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the second, a 1-0 lead for Brandon Valley over Pierre. Oof. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
Bottom of the second, 1-0 lead for Brandon Valley on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. Will Van Loor, Caleb Severin, and Braden Knutson, as it'll be 8-9-1 for Brandon Valley here in the bottom of the second, as they lead at 1-0. Getting the RBI double from Max Peters in that bottom of the first.
Up for Brandon Valley, third baseman, number 19, Will Van Loor.
Van Loor's first opportunity to swing the bats. He came in place of Luke Smart, the DH, but never got a chance to come to the plate as the first pitch is over for strike one. He was replaced in the sixth inning. Van Loor came in when Carroll came to the mound. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it counts quickly 0-2. Danbury looking for a quick strikeout here. 0-2 pitch to Van Loor. That'll be upstairs. And the count's now 1-2. Severin and then Knutson, top of the order, gets to hit here in the second inning. That'll bounce in, and the take there from Van Loor. Severin, who was on deck, went 1 for 2 in game number 1. I mean, Brandon Valley only had 5 hits. Post State only had 4 hits in that first game. There's a swing and a miss, and there's the first strikeout of the ball game for Danburg. Leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the second, and it will bring up now Caleb Severin, the left fielder.
Left fielder.
Again, Severin went 1 for 3. He singled with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th and came in to score that insurance run on Rylan Carroll's base hit. Turned out it wasn't, I mean, it was still necessary, but it didn't factor into the final score, that being a one-run win and being a huge base hit in terms of the final outcome. But that was a back-breaking single that really, it didn't really kill the spirits of the Eights in that first game, but it definitely didn't help. There's a swing and a foul tip for a strike, and the count's 0-2. And Danburg will try and get a second strikeout here quickly in this bottom of the second. From the windup, he'll deliver the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball that is foul down the first base line. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Another 0-2 pitch coming here from Danburg. As he wheels and deals, a swing and a miss, and there is back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. And it's the top of the order, Braden Knutson, who singled and came in to score on the double from Peters.
Number 13, Braden.
Knutson's got 2 hits so far of the 7 in total for Brandon Valley. First pitch to Knutson. That's at the knees for strike 1. Good spot there for Will Danburg. 0-1 pitch. Drops down a bunt the third base line, but that will be picked up foul by Grayson Hunsley, so the count is quickly 0-2. That's the third straight hitter now that Danburg has got an 0-2 count on. And we'll try and get a third strikeout of the inning for Will Danburg. He's trying to match what Rylan Carroll did in the first inning, which was strike out the side in order. Now Danberg's trying to strike out the side in order here in the bottom of the second. 0-2 pitch from Danberg to Knutson. High and outside, and it counts now 1-2. Wasn't close enough for Knutson to try and chase. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Bouncing in. He was the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes now here to Knutson. The 2-2 pitch to Knutson. Swing and a miss, and a 3-strikeout inning in order for Danberg. We head to the third, 1-0 lead for Brandon Valley over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota. It is the top of the third, and a 1-0 lead for Brandon Valley over Pierre on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard.
Post 8.
It'll be at top of the order: Dawson Getz, Sutton Sunshine, and Cooper Twilliger. He might reach his base. Ridge Leimbach will come to the plate. First pitch to Getz. That'll miss for ball 1. Getz struck out looking. These 3 guys all struck out in that first inning. 1-0 pitch. That one's at the bottom of the zone for a strike. The count's 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Getz will sky this out towards right field, but that will get out of play. Just outside of the right field bullpen.
Please return the foul.
And the count is now
to either
1-2.
dugout. Come up to the press box. Mr. Corey Knutson will give you $1.
1-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3, and the second time that Getz will strike out looking.
Strikeout for Carroll, brought to you by
That is the
Stone Group
6th
Architects.
strikeout now of the ball game for Ryland Carroll. The only man that's been retired
Stone Group Art.
was the fielder's choice from Porter Hunsley on the bunt attempt. Everybody else has either walked, singled, or struck out. Here's Sutton Sunshine. He also took a backwards K in his first trip to the plate. First pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1. 1-0 lead here for the Eights, or excuse me, for Brandon Valley in the top of the third over the Eights. The 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 0-2. There are still some scenarios where Pierre finishes at 0-2 and finds a way to still be hosting, but it's a lot few and far between to be able to host. And some of that would be that they need Rapid City Post 320 to not go 3-1. There's a line shot that's going to be over the head of the first baseman down the right field line, and it will be a single. Both hits have gone down the right field line by both Ridge Leimbach and Sutton Sunshine. There's 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the third, and it brings up Cooper Twilliger. Brayton Houlette will run for Sunshine, who is catching, so the courtesy runner will be in play. Second hit today for Sutton Sunshine of the 6 hits for Post 8 in total. Cooper Twilliger, who doubled in the first game. He will come to the plate. He is overall 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts in that double as the first pitch will miss upstairs for ball 1. Will we see Braden Houlette be off of the pitch to try and steal second? 1-0 pitch, not running this time. That one's over for a strike, and the count's 1-1. Again, Houlette's got 6 steals, all coming as a courtesy runner. Here's the 1-1. Now he takes off. Swing and a miss. And it was dropped by the catcher. So there was no throw. A little bit of a hit and run that was on. Whether Twilliger thought that was a strike or not, he swung at it. Stolen base for Houlette. First, a 1-2 count with a runner on at second. With 1 away. 7th steal of the season for Houlette. He's really done a good job as a courtesy runner. Got good speed. Here's the 1-2. There's a ground ball on the left side. That'll be fielded by the shortstop. The throw across to first will be in time. And there's now 2 down. And it's up to Ridge Leinbach to try and drive in that tying run.
Ground out to Knutson for the second out of the inning, number 13.
So Ridge Leinbach, who's got the only other hit besides Sun and Shine's hit here in this inning, is coming to the plate to try and tie the ball game up. There was a ground ball that's going to get through for a base hit. Houlette will round third. He will come in to score. That is an RBI single for Ridge Leinbach, and we are tied at 1. Second time that Leinbach has gone the other way. He's 2 for 2 in this ball game, an RBI for him. And it's a 1-1 tie here in the top of the 3rd inning. And brings up Charlie Simpson, the DH here in game 2. Here's the first pitch. That'll be taken for strike 1 to Simpson. Just about to mention, too, for Houlette and the speed that he has. Well, when you're on the track and field team for Dakota State, you can have quite a bit of speed. That one will be picked off the turf for a strike, and the count's 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Simpson had to go after it, but he fouled it off and fouls it off himself, and the count remains at 0-2. Leinbach is leading away from first with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning and a 1-1 tie. Leinbach's got 2 of the 3 hits in that RBI that drives in Houlette, who is running for Sun and Shine. Swing and a miss. That will get away from the catcher. The throw will have to go to first. The throw will be wide, and it will be caught by the first baseman. But it was a wide throw that allows Simpson to reach base. So while it was a strikeout, it turns into a wild pitch, and there's now 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. And Porter Hunsley has an opportunity that you didn't think was going to be possible at that point, but he's got a chance to give the Eights the lead here in the top of the 3rd. First pitch to him. Top of the zone for strike 1. There is activity on the right field bullpen, but unable to see what number that is. Blocked by the tarps and everything else. The sponsor at the bullpen. This will get away from the catcher. It'll be a pass ball that will move up both runners. And the count's 1-1 to Porter Hunsley. And a base hit could give the Eights a 2-run lead. Second and third with 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Hunsley tried to bunt this first time. He got the bunt down right off the plate and in fair territory, but ended up being a fielder's choice. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And the catcher will have to throw to first again. This will be on target, and that will retire the side here in the top of the 3rd inning. But the Eights get the tying run scored with 1 run on 2 hits and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for over 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732. Bottom of the third, and a 1-1 tie, the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. 2, 3, and 4, Ryder Mueller, Ryland Carroll, and Max Peters.
Leading off for Brandon Valley.
Anybody reaches base, Brighton Stroh to the plate. Very important for the Eights to get a 0 here. They did so in the bottom of the second whenever they made it a one-run ball game. But when Post State tied and took the lead in that top of the fifth, they didn't get that 0. They ended up giving the 2 runs right back. That turned out to be the difference in the ball game. First pitch is grounded foul by Mueller, who is 0 for 1, or not even 0 for 1, just 0 for 0, the sacrifice bunt. But Danberg's ahead in the count once again. Now starting off this bottom of the third inning, counts 0-1. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. That was a half-hearted swing from Mueller, but he does swing all the way through, and another 0-2 count here for Danberg. Danberg delivers the 0-2. One misses low and away, and the count's 1-2. Much harder for a hitter when you're down 0-2 in the count consistently. When you're a pitcher up 0-2, well, you love to see the batting average against when you're throwing against guys that are hitting 0-2. It's now gone to 2-2. But those 0-2 counts, it is very difficult to get base hits. Very difficult to find a way on base, regardless if you work your way back from an 0-2 count. 2-2 pitch. That will be taken for a strike 3. 4 strikeouts in a row now for Danberg after he struck out the side in the bottom of the second. 1 down here in the bottom of the third. And Ryland Carroll, who is hit by a pitch, will come back to the plates. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors for the Eights. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Brandon Valley so far. Danberg will look to get ahead of Carroll's. First pitch will come in, and swinging in ground ball to Getz over at short. He will field his throw to first. Too quickly down here in the bottom of the third inning. And it will bring up now the number 4-man Max Peters, who has the RBI double for Brandon Valley. Gave them that 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. 2 away with nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Here's the first pitch. Peters will take that for strike 1. Another first pitch strike there. Danberg has been very good this year at first pitch strike. That's the highest percentage on the team at 61.63. Well, Dawson gets at 61.7. Is just a touch higher. Getz has thrown nearly 9 innings. Danberg has done it consistently now at 40 innings overall. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Off the hands, Hunsley can't quite get to it in time. As he fouls that one away, does Peters, and the count remains at 0-2. Count. Get a couple baseballs thrown back in from the dugout. 0-2 count with 2 outs, nobody on base here at the bottom of the third. Danberg looking for another clean inning. He'll wind and deliver. That'll miss low, 1-2. Again, we're keeping an eye on games. We'll give you some score updates as we go along. The biggest one, and the only one that's important for Post State, is Post 320 and Sioux Falls East playing their game. This will be off the end of the bats, and it'll be a base hit in the hole. That is a Texas leaguer, bleeder, base hit. Looks like a solid line drive in the book, but
Hard hit single for Peters.
yes,
Number 22.
absolutely, as the PA says, a hard hit single for Peters. That's what it looks like in the book. Looks like he hit it 130 miles an hour, but you put a window where that ball is going to land and it bounces off the window. It doesn't break the glass. I mean, you could throw the window at that ball and it still wasn't going to break anything. Ball was barely hit, but he finds a way to get on base. Pickoff attempt and a close play over at first, but diving back in safely is Peters. Brighton Stroh now at the plate. He's 0 for 1. The ground down to the third baseman, Hunsley. And he'll ground that one over to Hunsley again at the bag. The throw to first will retire the side. So after the 2-out single on the blazing line drive from Max Peters, no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the top of the fourth. It will be 1-1 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra. Growing together for generations.
It is the top of the fourth and a 1-1 tie. The American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby and scoreboard. Grayson Hunsley, Trevor Rounds, and Hudson Stosher 7-8-9 here in the top of the fourth inning against Rylan Carroll, who will work into the fourth. And again, he's got 73 pitches to work with going into this ball game after throwing 32 in game number 1. Officially had him at 32.
Number 14.
And so with having, 7 strikeouts in 3 innings, that does increase your pitch count up a little bit. Grayson Hunsley to lead things off. He has thrown 64, so he is just about done. He's only got 13 pitches to work with before he's going to come out of the ball game, so it would take quite a bit. Obviously, he can go well past that and everything else, but here's the first pitch to Grayson Hunsley. He'll swing at that one and ground it. That is going to be a foul ball just down the third base line. Boy, that was really close. And the count's 0-1, but again, Carroll with 65 pitches right now. He had 10 pitches remaining. He can finish the at-bat, obviously, but he would have to come out of the ball game then. They did have somebody warming up. Actually, have a couple of people warming up. Here's a ground ball right side. Second baseman will come into field, and Mueller will throw out Hunsley to start the top of the fourth inning. And it's now Trevor Rounds, back to the bottom of the third inning. That base hit from Max Peters, it reminds you of the movie Major League and Bob Uecker, Harry Doyle in the movie. The bottom of the first game for Cleveland, and Willie Mays Hayes decides to check his swing but puts the ball in play. As the first pitch is over for strike one to Trevor Rounds, he goes, "Hey, that's a hot shot to third." And Willie Mays beats it out, gets the first, and he talks about, it was as slow as it can be, and Rounds is down in the count 0-2. And I can't remember who the third baseman was for the opposing team, and credit him for getting in front of it. He's got a family to think about. That was a laser. That's kind of how you put it in the book for Peters. That's what it reminded me of. Talking about a hot shot over the third baseman's head. But Peters is 2 for 2. Regardless of how you say whether the first one, went 80 miles an hour off the bat and the second one went 12 miles off of the bat. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop, high hop for Knutson, easy play for him. And 2 down now in the top of the fourth. And it will bring up number 9 man Hudson Stosher.
Second baseman, number 16.
There will never, ever be another Bob Uecker. You can try hard for it. There's impossible for anyone to be another Bob Uecker. Was a special guy in those movies, special guy broadcasting baseball for so many years. Played baseball with the Cardinals. Him and Bob Gibson got in trouble and got fined from the Cardinals because they were holding hands and smiling ridiculous. They're in a team photo. But that's not surprising for Bob Uecker. 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike to Hudson Stosher. That counts 1-1. 1-1 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the counts 2-1. Yeah, I mean, he made those Major League movies. They were good movies no matter what, but adding his commentary to it was incredible. Here's a ground ball in the hole on the left side. That is going to be backhanded, and a throw across the body, well not in time, from Braden Knudsen, and it will be a 2-out single for Hudson Stosher, his second hit today. And it extends the inning up to Dawson Getz. And that was pitch number 74 for Rylan Carroll, so that will, I believe, is going to end his day. Be one pitch shy, but if they had the 33, 31, it's all the same, so that will end Rylan Carroll's day here in the top of the fourth with 2 outs as he's pitched in both games, and we'll have a pitching change here in the top of the fourth inning. With 2 on, we'll make that 1 on and 2 outs here in the top of the fourth. We'll return in a minute. You're listening to Post-State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 AM or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
When you're in town for the big game, why not stay where the view is just as great as the action? American in Fort Pierce sits right on the river, offering beautiful scenery, relaxing comfort, and easy access to the ballpark. After a day at the Diamond, there's nothing better than unwinding by the water, and the American always hits it out of the park. Stay by the river. Stay in comfort. Call 605-223-2358 to book your room today. American, where the river meets relaxation.
Top of the fourth inning, there's a runner on at first with 2 outs. As you're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Rylan Carroll goes 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 run so far, but he is responsible for Hudson Stosher, who is on at first, as Dawson Getz will be the first man to greet the new pitcher for Brandon Valley. As we're trying to get you a score update, but Mason Veld is the new man that's on the mound. Carroll will stay in as the DH in part of that Otani rule. But Mason Veld will take over, and he will deal with Dawson Getz. The score update for you is Sioux Falls East is leading at Rapid City Post 3, 22-0 right now. And again, if Huron played Post 3 23 times, Pierre played him twice, Brookings once, and Harrisburg 0. Here's the first pitch, and it'll be a ground ball. Second baseman will get down on top of it in Mueller, and it takes just 1 pitch to get out of the inning for Mason Veld. So no runs, hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 1-1 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Right back to commercial break. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, we deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry, from commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades. Our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years.
It is the bottom of the fourth and a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. And it is for Brandon Valley. It'll be Jake Blomgren, Cooper Ness, and Will Van Loor. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for Brandon Valley in this 1-1 tie. Post 131 won 5-3 in game number 1. And so they need a win here in game 2 for Post 8. Again, a win all but assures you a chance at hosting. I mean, there's very little things that have to go right, or I guess wrong, for you to not be able to host as the first pitch is over for strike 1. Sioux Falls East is winning 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth over Rapid City Post 320. That's the lone doubleheader that is of concern for Post 8. Here's a hard ground ball up the middle. Getz will field from behind the bag at second. The throw to first is in time. A heck of a play from Dawson Getz to get the lead man out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And it brings up Cooper Ness, who is 0 for 1. Again, KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station.
Right fielder, Cooper Ness.
Drew McIntyre is back in the studios. John Winkler with you on this Thursday evening. Here's the first pitch. Over for strike 1. Again, if East were to sweep Post 320 today, then that takes half the scenarios out, or almost half of them already gone anyway, and 2/3 of them will be gone by the end of the night for Post 8 end of this game. But if Post 320 is swept by East, then that eliminates basically half the other, cuts off the other half that are still remaining. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Taken for strike 3. 3-pitch strikeout for Danberg. It'll be a strikeout number 5 for Danberg. And 2 down here quickly in the bottom of the fourth inning. So we'll keep an eye on that East Post 320 game. Renner is beating Yankton 5-4 right now. Post 22 is up 10-2 over Sioux Falls West. Watertown and Sturgis are just getting underway. That was over for strike 1. Yankton and Renner, they were finishing off their season tonight as well. A 1 pitch. That one's down the middle for a strike. The count's 0-2. Brandon Valley will play again tomorrow. 320 East, 22 and West. They're all going to play. They're all playing each other, and will be the opposite. 320 is playing East today. They'll play West tomorrow. Same for 22. Same for Watertown Sturgis playing today, and Aberdeen Spearfish. They will swap opponents out West tomorrow. That will wrap up the season as well, as the count's now 1-2. And then Harrisburg and Brookings will play a doubleheader. Harrisburg, Brookings, Brandon Valley, Huron. Those are the important doubleheaders for Post 8 tomorrow. Outside of, and things could still change, but if Pierre wins, you just know, okay, we're seeing who we're going to face. That one will be taken for strike 3, and that will be back-to-back strikeouts to the end of the inning, and a 1-2-3-4 for Will Danberg. 6 strikeouts now for Danberg in the ball game. 1-1 tie at the end of 4 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
As a family grows, so does its financial needs. There are doctors and dentists, optometrists, lessons, braces, groceries, and more groceries. Then, of course, there's cars, college, and weddings to pay for. First Fidelity Bank is here to make the financial side of growing a family a little easier. First Fidelity Bank. First-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
Top of the fifth, and it is 1-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. If things hold out here in this ball game, or I guess not in this ball game, but in post 22, or excuse me, post 320 and Sioux Falls East, and they end up sweeping, although they still have another game to play, any 1-1 record for Pierre puts them into hosting a playoff series next week. At 0-2 for Post States, there is still 4 scenarios that they could still be hosting as that first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. We don't really want to go through that route, but there is still that possibility as the 1-0 pitch to Sun and Shine has popped up on the right side. Foul territory, that will get out of play. First baseman and Peters was giving it a look, but does get out for a strike. One, the count is even at a ball and a strike.
Please return the foul balls to the dugout. Return the foul ball to a dugout.
Sun and Shine spot scored. Brayton Hulett ran for Sun and Shine after he singled with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Hulett stole second, got to third. Actually just came in to score on the Linebach 2-out single. As it counts now 1-2 here to Sun and Shine. You gotta expect that Hulett's ready to run again if Sun and Shine reaches base. That'll miss low and away, and the count's 2-2. Sun and Shine to Williger Linebach. Trying to get the lead here as we are over the halfway point of this ball game. Grounded foul, and Coach Iverson makes a nice play over at third out of the coaching box. In the Four Corners amateur baseball team, playing some pretty good baseball. They're looking to make the Class B state tournament. The Pony Hills League, they've got a couple more games left to go. That pitch will miss low. The count's now 3-2. A lot of former 8s on that team and recent 8s. Got a chance to talk to Jack Van Camp a little bit a couple days ago. 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball over to the shortstop who will field, and the throw from Knutson is in time to retire Sun and Shine to kick off the top of the 5th.
Ground out to Knutson.
And it brings up now Cooper Terwilliger.
First baseman.
He was 0 for 2.
Cooper Terwilliger.
He struck out swinging in the first, ground out of the shortstop Knutson in the 3rd. As Mason Veld, who threw just 1 pitch to get out of that inning, this will be flown out to right field. This will be a foul ball, and it will land out of play. Just barely out of play for strike 1. And first pitch strike. That wind is blowing out towards right field, so there is that a possibility if you get the arms extended out, you could drive something to right field, get some air underneath it. It's not going to carry a lot. Hardly at all. But the wind is giving it a little extra push. Maybe get a fly out on an opposite field home run. This will be taken outside for a ball, and the count's 1-1. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike, and it's now 1-2. But Post State will play Wednesday next week. We'll see who they play, when they will play, where they will play. This Terwilliger strikes out swinging for the 2nd time. 2 down now in the top of the 5th, and it's Ridge Linebach who is 2 for 2. 2 singles and an RBI that tied the ball game up at the top of the 3rd inning.
Jared Smart, construction. Strikeout.
We'll have coverage on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. We could go to Harrisburg. We could go to Brookings even. We could go to Huron. There's a lot of different possibilities. Those 3 are the most likely spots. There is some outside force that maybe happens where it ends up being a team that I'm not really aware of as it counts 2-0. But for the most part, those 3 teams will be the likely spots. That one's over for a strike that counts 2-1. And really, going to Harrisburg is almost unlikely as well. There's a chance that maybe Harrisburg would come to us. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 2-2. There's very little spot where Pierre and Harrisburg would actually play out near the Sioux Falls area. Here's a chopper over to third. Van Loer will field his throw to first. Is in time to get Ridge Lineback to end the inning. And a 1-2-3 inning for Mason Veld in the top of the fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. To the bottom of the fifth we go in a 1-1 tie between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
It is the bottom of the fifth in a 1-1 tie between Pierre and Brandon Valley. 9-1-2 for post 131. Caleb Severin, Braden Knudsen, and Ryder Mueller. Anybody reaches base, Rylan Carroll will get a chance to hit as he is the now DH in this ball game. And again, you see that in Major League Baseball with Shohei Ohtani. Steve Gray did it a couple times a couple years ago. Not this past spring, his last year of coaching, he might have actually done it for 2 years, but did that a couple times of your starting pitcher turns into your DH whenever he's done pitching, as that first pitch will miss for ball one. Caleb Severin is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in his first at-bat. 1-0 pitch from Danbury. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-1. Getting down to the final couple innings here, and things a little bit more intense and a little bit more tense between these two teams, but especially for Pierre right now, that one would be fouled back, and the count's now 1-2. The path to hosting is a lot more difficult, and you need help to host. If you go 0-2, you don't need much of any kind of help. You just can't get unlucky to not host if you go 1-1. That one will be taken for strike three. There's one down, and another strikeout for Will Danbury. That's 3 in a row dating back to last inning. 7 strikeouts now after he had 4 in a row from the second to the third inning. Now he's got 3 in a row here from the fourth and fifth. And Braden Knudsen, who is 1 for 2 with a strikeout, singled the lead off the first and then struck out swinging in the second. Will miss low for ball one from Danberg. He singled and then scored from Max Peters. A lone run for Brandon Valley so far in this ball game. There's a ground ball over towards the second baseman. Stosher will field. A quick throw to first is going to be in time. 2 down here at the bottom of the fifth, and it brings up now Ryder Mueller. Mueller is 0 for 1. He sacrificed bunt in the first, and then he struck out looking to start the third inning. Will Danberg, who is trying to get through 5 completes as the first pitch to Mueller, will be at the top of the zone for strike one. That was pitch number 54 for him, so he's well within good range to try and go the distance, or at least get through 6 completes before Coach Iverson has any kind of thought of moving to another guy in relief. He's kept himself pretty efficient trying to get through 5 innings. 1-1 pitch to Mueller. That one will bounce in. The count's now 2-1. But as any pitcher knows, that efficiency only goes as far as your last batter, and you got to continue to be efficient. You can't just assume that you're going to be efficient. You're still going to continue to do that each and every at bat. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-2. So Danberg looking for the strikeout to finish out this 5th inning. Guy with the most innings, most starts on this team. Delivers a 2-2 pitch. That one will be upstairs, left upstairs. A little bit of starting to go for Ryder Mueller, but does hold up well in time. The count's now full at 3-2. Full count payoff pitch. Danberg from the windup delivers, and that's fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Another 3-2 pitch upcoming. Rylan Carroll is on deck, the number 3 man in the batting order. Rather see him open up the bottom of the 6th inning. So Danberg again will deliver the 3-2. And a ground ball towards Hunsley at third. He will field. His throw is going to be in time, and that will retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning for Danberg. And we head to the 6th. Still 1-1 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
When life throws you a curveball, May Adam Law Firm in Pierre is here to help you knock it out of the park. For over 130 years, we've been providing trusted legal expertise in business, family law, criminal defense, and more. Proud sponsors of this season's baseball action, we're committed to serving our community both on and off the field. Need legal advice? Step up to the plate with May Adam Law Firm. Visit mayadam.net or call today. May Adam, South Dakota's law firm since 1881.
Top of the 6th, it is 1-1 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it is 5, 6, and 7. Charlie Simpson, Porter Hunsley, and Grayson Hunsley. He might reach his base. Trevor Rounds with the 8s trying to crack through Mason Veld and just crack through a second run. Doesn't have to be pretty. At this point of the year, you want to play your best baseball, but you got to find ways to get a win, especially going into next week. Doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to find a way to get a win. As the first pitch will miss low for ball 1. And the 8s are playing yet another close baseball game that feels like that's been the case for them all season long. They've lost a lot in extra innings. They've won a couple extra inning games. That one's at the knees for a strike. The count's 1-1 here to Charlie Simpson, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's over for a strike on a curveball that fooled a little bit of Simpson. The count's now 1-2. At this point, you don't need a perfect baseball game. You just got to find a way to get a win. And Charlie Simpson will reach base to lead off the top of the 6th as he was plunked in the back. And the runner on at first here with nobody out, and a mound visit upcoming from Brandon Valley. Coach Van Heel is not coming out. Usually, well, I think they might be making a change here. They will be making a change. So we'll get the shortstop and Braden Knutson that will come and throw now. Does that mean Rylan Carroll goes into the ball game? And it looks like he is going to come into the ball game. And so he will maybe take over at short, but it is going to be Braden Knutson that will take over on the mound with a runner on first. Nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. We'll step aside, come back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR. Watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, 224-6627. Well, it's a stalemate right now on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. is 1-1. Braden Knutson is now on the mound. Rylan Carroll moved to short, so there is no change in the batting order because Carroll was the DH. He was pitching, came to the bench, to the dugout to be the DH, and now he's back out of the shortstop area. And so you can't officially close the book on Mason Veld because he is responsible for that runner at first. But this will be Braden Knutson that's on the mound. And Braden Knutson, get you the stats for him here real quick, as he has thrown 19 1/3 innings. This will be his first relief appearance of the season. He's 2-2 so far in his 4 starts and 4 appearances. First pitch, Porter Hunsley tries to bunt a pitch that is above his eyes, misses it for strike 1. 17 hits, 16 runs, 11 earned, 7 walks, 19 strikeouts, an ERA at 2.98 to whip at 1.24. Batting average against at 218 for Knutson. Hunsley shows bunt, pulls it back, and then misses outside, and that leads to the catcher and Blomgren turning around and asking the umpire and making sure that he actually called it a ball. Hunsley is 0 for 2, bunted his way to a fielder's choice in his first at-bat, then struck out swinging in the third. Trying to move that go-ahead run up. He'll take that one, and he'll take a strike, so the count's now 1-2. And again, can't close the book on Mason Veld. He's thrown an inning and a third. No hits, no walks, a strikeout. Didn't hit Charlie Simpson, who is standing on at first right now. 1-2 pitch now to Hunsley. Curveball, that good take there from Hunsley, and the count's now 2-2. Grayson Hunsley, then Trevor Rounds. Then you get to Hudson Stosher, then back to the top of the order. 2-2 pitch. And Hunsley swings and misses and will strike out. And there's one down now here in the top of the 6th inning. Now here's Grayson Hunsley. He is 0 for 1. He walked in the second, and he grounded out to the second baseman in the 4th. Love to see him turn on one and drive it down the third base line into the outfield. Pickoff attempt. No play really over at first. Be 3, 4, and 5 for Brandon Valley in the bottom of the 6th. Again, Will Danberg right at the 60-pitch mark, so he's got basically half of his pitches remaining before he'd have to be removed as the count's 1-0. One-0 pitch now to Grayson Hunsley. That'll miss low and away, and the count's 2-0. Good take there on the curveball that swept through the strike zone but fell out of it, and he didn't chase. 2-0 pitch now from Knutson. That's above the zone. 3-0 count now to Grayson Hunsley. Rounds waits on deck. 3-0 pitch. Down the middle for a strike, and the count's 3-1. Now let's see Hunsley turn on one right over the third baseman's head down the third base line. 3-1 pitch. At the bottom of the zone, and the count's now 3-2. Simpson leads away with a 3-2 count, 1 out. Pitch taken for strike 3, and Hunsley strikes out looking for the second out. And from a 3-0 count, 3 straight strikes without Hunsley swinging. And there's now 2 down. And it's up to Trevor Rounds to keep the inning alive here in the top of the 6th.
The Will's Way is a formula for success. Number 11, Trevor Rounds.
Rounds is 0 for 2, struck out looking in the second, ground out of the shortstop in the 4th. First pitch, off speed, breaking ball that drops in for a strike. Here's the 0-1. That's above the zone. Count is even at a ball and a strike now to Rounds. Trying to get it to the number 9 man in the batting order, Hudson Stosher, who is 1 for 2. 1-1 pitch. That one misses just a bit outside, maybe a little bit high, and the count's 2-1. Two 1 pitch. That is fouled out of play. Right side, so now the count is 2-2. And a strike away is Braden Knudsen to get out of this inning. Two-two pitch. That's upstairs, 3-2. Now you get a head start for Charlie Simpson, and a gap shot would give the Eights the lead. New baseball coming to Braden Knudsen. Pickoff attempt. Time was not put back into play, so there is no pickoff attempt. Rounds will dig back in. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Simpson will get a head start. 3-2 pitch. Rounds swings and misses and strikes out. And it will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. To the bottom of the 6th. Pierre and Brandon Valley tied 1-1. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. It is the bottom of the 6th and a 1-1 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. Rylan Carroll, Max Peters, and Brighton Stroh. Anybody reaches base, it'll be Jack Blomgren. This is 3, 4, and 5 for Brandon Valley here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A run gives them the lead and a chance to close out the game in the 7th. The Eights need a big 0 right now. They got 9, 1, and 2 in the top of the 7th, outside of a 10-run inning. But you get 9, 1, and 2 in the top of the 7th, regardless of what happens here, and a chance to score some runs. As the first pitch from Danberg will be taken for strike 1 to Carroll. He is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first inning, and then he grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd. He's now the shortstop in this ball game. The DH is gone, as this will miss low and gets the backstop. Counts 1-1. And Wednesday is the first-round playoff series, best of 3. The winner will go to the state tournament the following Monday in Watertown. There's a swing and a miss by Carroll, and the counts 1-2. And if they're able to get a win here for Post State, it's all but likely at home next Wednesday. If they don't, got a scoreboard watch. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball over to Stosher at second. That's right on the ground for him to field. The throw to first retires Carroll to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's one down to bring up now Max Peters, who is 2 for 2. Doubled in the first inning to drive in Brandon Valley's only run. And then he had a base hit that I don't know if it would register on a, the exit velocity off of a swing. I don't even know if it would register that, but he got a base hit off of it. Goes down as a hard line drive. Now he tries to bunt his way on, but he'll bunt that foul as it went behind home plate. And the count's 0-1 here to Peters, so he is looking to go 3 for 3 in this ball game. He went 0 for 2 in game 1 with a walk and hit by pitch. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, and the count is now 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Peters. That'll miss low. Goes at 2-1. Bryton Stroh, who's 0 for 2, is on deck. 2-1 pitch. That'll miss outside. The count's 3-1. No walks so far from Danberg. Doesn't want that to change now. A 3-1 pitch here to Peters. That's a line drive that'll be up the middle for a base hit. 3 for 3 game for Peters. And a 1-out single puts the go-ahead run on base with 1 away. Bryton Stroh, who, how about one more ground ball over to the third baseman, Grayson Hunsley, to start a 5-4-3 double play. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to third. He hit one on the ground hard over to Hunsley another time. I don't know if he'd be bunting here with 1 out, but he might be trying to lay down a bunt. Put that guy in scoring position, try to play some small ball. He is not bunting. The first pitch is above the head for ball 1 from Danberg. Jack Blomgren, the catcher, is on deck. There's no even potential showing a bunt from Stroh. Here's now the 1-0 pitch. That was a fly ball to center field, but it's going to go right to Porter Hunsley to make the catch. And now 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it brings up Blomgren, who is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and grounded out to the shortstop Getz. 4 hits apiece for these two teams. Peters has 3 of the 4 hits. The only other guy is Knudsen, who led off the bottom of the first with a base hit. It's the only other guy that not necessarily has reached base, but it's the only guy that has a hit besides Max Peters for Brandon Valley. 4 hits for Post 8, 2 of them for Ridge Leinbach, who will be due up 5th in the inning in the top of the 7th. Pickoff attempt, that was close, and back in safely. Didn't get the camera changed over in time. Close play at first, almost caught Peters leaning towards second. Here's now the first pitch to Jack Blomgren. After a long pause, ground ball to the third base dugout, goes off the top of the dugout into the third base coaching box. Counts 0-1, another first pitch strike there for Danberg, who looks to get through 6 completes, keep this a 1-1 tie, and hope that the 8's bats can get him a lead for the 7th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another long pause. 0-1 pitch is grounded over to Getz at short. He'll throw the easy way to second. That'll take us through 6. And still a tie ball game, 1-1. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. To the 7th we go, 1-1 between Pierre and Brandon Valley. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre.
Swing for the fences with a great deal from Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. Whether you need a powerful truck, a fuel-efficient sedan, or a spacious SUV, they've got the perfect lineup to keep you on the road and in the game. Don't strike out. Stop by today or visit CapitalCityFordToyota.com. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, where the best deals in town are always in play.
It is the top of the 7th and a 1-1 tie. Post 8 will have 9-1-2. Hudson Stosher, Dawson Getz, and Sutton Sun and Shine. Anybody reaches base, it'll be then Cooper Twilliger. And you're hoping that somebody reaches base. Whether they make their way on a round tripper or not, just somebody's got to get on. We got to get a run, Post 8 does. They got to see a run here in the top of the 7th. 7, 8, 9 will be up in the bottom of the 7th for Post 131. So when you look at just by lineup standard, this is the time for Post 8 to score and to hold Brandon Valley in the bottom of the 7th. Having basically double lead off with 9-1, and then you get 2-3-4 after that. Sioux Falls East has a 7-0 lead on Post 320 after 6 innings. They head to the 7th in that ball game. And if East does win, they'll need to win that second game, and Post 320 will no longer be able to get above 500 or to 500, which then gives Post 8 a little bit better of a shot at making sure that they host a game or host that first round series. First pitch is at the very top of the zone for strike one. Stoscher's 1 for 2. He singled in the hole on the left side in his last at bat. But he's down the count 0-2 right now. Here to Braden Knudsen, who's been in relief of Mason Veld, who went an inning and a third with 1 strikeout. 0-2 pitch, grounded foul over to the third base dugout. Count remain at 0-2. Picking up the foul ball out in left field. There is some activity out in the left field bullpen for Post 8. That'll be fouled away. Good job by Stoscher to hold on. I can't quite tell who that is warming up out in left field right now. 0-2 pitch. Stoscher with a ground ball up the middle. That's it through for a base hit. Big start there for the Eights. Stoscher's 2 for 3 in the ball game. And a good 2-strike approach there for Stoscher. Fouled off 2 pitches before he got one to drive right back up the middle. And now it's Dawson Getz. And again, a small ball coming to play here. It's Ridge Lineback that was warming up out in left field.
Dawson Getz.
Danberg still has plenty to throw into the 7th inning. But do you know, Lineback hasn't thrown in quite some time either. He's got 73 pitches, but if you're just kind of maybe seeing how Ridge Lineback feels throwing out in left field in the bullpen, and if he feels pretty good, as Getz will try and show bunt, he'll pull it back and taking it low for ball 1. And if we have to play more than 7 innings and Danberg runs out of pitches to throw, that Lineback might be the option to go to. 1-0 pitch. Good bunt there from Dawson Getz. The only play will go to first, and the sacrifice is good. So the leadoff man in the batting order drops down the sacrifice bunt to move Stoscher over to second. And so now it's a runner on in scoring position with less than 2 outs and a chance for the Eights to try and take the lead here in the top of the 7th inning. 1-3 on the sacrifice bunt. Sun and Shine, he's got a base hit. He's 1 for 3 in this ball game. His spot scored. Braden Hulett was running for him and came in to score. First pitch will miss for ball 1. As Braden Knudsen has thrown now 25 pitches. Make that 26. That pitch missed low and it counts 2-0. And then the thought process here for Brandon Valley is, do you take this guy, do you take Knudsen out to hold him for tomorrow against Huron? Because you got to still play another game tomorrow, 2 games tomorrow. Mason Veld could pitch tomorrow, but will they keep it for Knudsen to be available to pitch? The count's now 3-0. And if he doesn't get Sun and Shine here, if he walks him, that might tell us the story on if he's going to be done today, available for tomorrow or not. 3-0 pitch. That's going to be on the inside edge. The count goes now 3-1. Hitters count here for Sun and Shine. Drive it somewhere. Give the Eights the lead. 3-1 pitch. He'll foul that one out of play. And the count is now full at 3-2. That was pitch number 29. So I believe this would then tell you that they will not be getting Knudsen out to save him for tomorrow. 3-2 pitch. Upstairs for ball 4, and it will be first and second. That was pitch number 30, but we'll have a mound visit Cooper Twilliger will be the next batter. And will they make the pitching change here, or will things just kind of be talked about and talked through with one out here in the top of the 7th? Houston Speedway, you can hear some activity over Houston Speedway. The races have just about started. They're just getting some engines fired up.
Pinch runner number 24.
Braden Houlette will run for Sun and Shine, who drew the walk.
Braden
As
Houlette, pinch running, 24.
Sun and Shine is catching. And so Knudsen will stay on the mound. With runners at first and second. And one out here in the top of the 7th. Twilliger, 0 for 3 in this ball game, but does have a double that he hit in game number 1. First pitch, swings and fouls it back for strike 1. Ridge Leimbach, as long as you ground into a double play, Leimbach, who is 2 for 3 in the ball game with the lone post-state RBI in this game, will have a chance to swing the bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Bounces in. Good stop there by the catcher in Blomgren that counts 1-1. Well, your season's not on the line in this ball game, but there's a lot riding in this game right now. 1-1 pitch. Twilliger will sky this out towards right field. We'll see if Stoscher will tag. The catch will be made by the right fielder. Stoscher will tag, and he'll make his way to third as that throw rolls its way over to third base. So it's now first and third with 2 outs. Twilliger does move him over, and now it can now be a pass ball wild pitch to score that run. First and third, 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Ridge Leimbach, who's 2 for 2, 2 for 3 with a RBI single in the 3rd inning, has an opportunity as Leimbach rips it out to left field, coming over and dropping the ball. The run will come in to score. The left fielder dropped it. They're going to try and score another run. The throw from Houlette is going to be wide. It's going to be high. It's now a 3-1 lead. Post-State gets 2 runs. The left fielder dropped the ball out and left, and now Rylan Carroll is holding his arm. That is not good for Brandon Valley. Houlette scores. And it's now a 3-1 lead, but the concern is Carroll. That throw got high up on the netting. And Carroll is in a lot of pain right now. He keeps walking away from his coach. I think he's going to be okay to stay in the ball game. But an error by the left fielder allows both runs to score. Coach Iverson was sending Houlette, who has got speed, and was forcing the issue, and it forced a bad throw. Leimbach will not get credit for the RBI, but 2 runs do score to make it a 3-1 ball game, and Leimbach ends up at second, and Charlie Simpson can add to it. Sioux Falls East beats Post 3 27-0. Simpson will pop this one foul. That will get out of play for strike 1. Simpson is 0 for 1. He walked, he struck out, but reached first on a drop third strike, and then was hit by a pitch. And he's down the count 0-2. It is 7-8-9 for Post 131, Brandon Valley in the bottom of the 7th inning. Oh-2 pitch to Simpson. Ground ball right back to the mound. The play was made, and that will take us to the end of the top of the 7th inning. But an error helped score the runs. 2 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. The bottom of the 7th, Post 8 has a 3-1 lead, trying to secure a home game in the playoffs. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
So here we go, bottom of the seventh, a 3-1 lead for Post State over Brandon Valley. They get 2 runs on an error in the top of the seventh with 2 outs to take a 3-1 lead. Can they get 3 outs here in the bottom of the seventh to win the ball game? And again, if East wins the second game, Post State is going to be hosting next Wednesday. By my calculations, Post State is going to be hosting next Wednesday. Cooper Ness will lead things off. 7-8-9 for Brandon Valley. First pitch swinging and fouling it out of play. The Eights are 19-13 of the season. 15-13 if you take away the 4 forfeits from Sturgis. But they do count to the South Dakota standings. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. A win will guarantee them to finish over 500 this year with games played. Otherwise, they would, have to win 2 of 3, or they lose 2 games. Three games over 500, they'll finish above 500 mark. That one will be missing inside. The count's now 1-2. And a big turnaround from last 2 years have been struggles for Post State to win baseball games. They've had a lot of turnover on the roster in the last couple of years. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Danberg. 1 down in the bottom of the seventh. 2022 is the last time that the Eights were in the state tournament. They went 1-2. They beat this Brandon Valley team in 8 innings in their 1 win in the state tournament. That was out in Rapid City. Here's the first pitch. There's a ground ball over to Dawson. Gets it short. He will field. His throw to first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Number 9 man in the batting order, Caleb Severin. With 2 outs, Will Danberg trying to go complete game. The 1 run that scored against him was the RBI double from Max Peters. After Braden Knudsen led off the bottom of the first with a base hit. Here's a base hit now from Severin, so the tying run will come to the plate here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. That is hit number 5 for Brandon Valley here in the ball game.
Pitcher. Number 13, Braden.
Braden Knudsen to the plate. Top of the order now. You're hoping to go 1, 2, 3, but there's 2 outs with the runner on first. That runner at first doesn't mean anything. It's the guy at the plate right now. Knudsen, who is 1 for 3, waits on the first pitch, and it'll come inside for ball 1. Will Danberg giving up just 5 hits, no walks in the inning, or no walks in the ball game. He's hit 2 guys. It has 8 strikeouts. 1-0 pitch. That one misses high and outside. The count's 2-0. And time is called, and Sudden Sun and Shine will go out and talk with his pitcher and Will Danberg to kind of settle him in here. Don't got to worry about the guy at first very much. You like to keep that force out at second to go the easy route. But the last thing you want to do is worry too much about that guy and then lose Braden Knudsen and put the tying run on base with 2 outs here in the inning. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's also outside. The count's now 3-0. And again, Danberg had over 30 pitches coming into this inning. Here's the 3-0 now. Missing for ball 4, so the tying run is now on base. The winning run will come to the plate, and Ryder Mueller. Danberg has thrown 83 pitches. He's got 22 still to work with. That's his first walk that he's issued. And it's Ryder Mueller, who represents the winning run for Brandon Valley at the plate, who is 0 for 2, sack bunt in the first, struck out looking in the third, and ground out to Grayson Hunsley at third in the fifth. Here's the first pitch to Mueller. That's over for strike one. That's a good start there for Danberg to get ahead in the count after a 4-pitch walk. Trying to go the distance. Trying to finish off the South Dakota season with a win. 0-1 pitch. That one is fouled out of play, and the Eights are a strike away from nearly guaranteeing themselves a play at home on Wednesday next week in the playoffs. Everything else will be yet to be determined, with games later today still for other teams and tomorrow. Time is called by Ryder Mueller. Danberg looking for his 9th strikeout. The Eights looking for their 20th win overall, will be their 16th win in games fully played. And finish off the regular season with a 2-run top 7th to win it 3-1. 0-2 pitch, bouncing in. Huge block by Sutton Sunshine. Keeps that tying run out of scoring position. One-two count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Danberg comes set from the stretch. 1-2. Popped up. That's going to get out of play, though. And we'll do it again here at a 1-2 count. That was pitch number 87 for Will Danberg. Still 18 pitches to go before he'd have to be removed. We hope that he only needs 88 pitches to finish out this ball game. Tying runs at first. 2 on, 2 out, 1-2 pitch from Danberg to Mueller. Line shots out towards left. It will be caught by Ridge Leinbach, and the Eights roll Eights with a 3-1 win to pick up a huge South Dakota victory to finish out the regular season. And now with a win from Sioux Falls East later on tonight in Game 2, the Eights can enjoy some home cooking in the playoffs. 3-1 is our final. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We come back in 2 minutes. We'll wrap it up from Brandon Valley. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684. Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
As we welcome you back, it is a final score. Post State wins it 3-1 over Brandon Valley to get the split that they need. And now Post State's, outside of Post 320 winning this ball game in the second game, and then Huron going 2-0 tomorrow, and Post 320 also going 2-0 tomorrow, the Eights will be hosting the first round series. Everything that's 1-1, there's still a possibility that they end up as a number 7 seed, not even a number 8 seed. It will take quite a bit. It'll be Harrisburg and Brookings splitting, and Huron also, well, they can go 1-1. Doesn't matter, they go 0-2 as well. But that gives them an opportunity for this Post State team to still be at home, and we'll see then who they will face. But again, if Post 320 loses their game to Sioux Falls East in Game 2, outside of my math being wrong, which that is a very legit possibility, but I feel like I've done the math correctly, that Post State will end up being at home against Brookings, Huron, potentially even Harrisburg, depending on how things shake out. But the Eights do get that huge win in game number 2. 3-1 is their final. 5 hits, no errors, 8 men left on base for Pierre. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left on base for Brandon Valley. That 1 error is the difference in the ball game. The 2-out error that was dropped out in left field on the Ridge line box hit scored both the runs. The throw ended up being wild, and Carroll's arm doesn't feel great, but even a perfect throw would have been close to try and get Braden Hulett out. But they got both those runs on the air that made it a 3-1 victory, a 3-1 lead, and Will Danberg shut the door. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 88 pitches. He picks up the complete game win. Braden Knudsen gets the loss, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 runs, none of them were earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, 37 pitches for Knudsen. It was a 1-0 lead for Brandon Valley in the bottom of the first, and a RBI double for Max Peters. That was the lone run that Brandon Valley got. Braden Knudsen led off the bottom of the first with a base hit. It was driven in by Max Peters. That was it that Will Danberg allowed in that ball game. Then Rich Leinbach tied it up with an RBI single that scored Braden Hulett running for Sun and Shine to make it a 1-1 game. And then the hit by Rich Leinbach in the 7th that was dropped out in left field that scored Hudson Stosher first, and then Hulett scored in Sun and Shine spot again to take a 3-1 lead, and the Eights hold on for that 3-1 final. Time of the ball game was 1 hour and 47 minutes, and a heck of a win for Post States here in Game 2 to give themselves the best opportunity now to be hosting and give themselves a chance to make the state tournament by hosting next week, Wednesday. We'll have coverage of that series next week on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. We won't know the times. I'll be in contact and in touch with River Iverson, the head coach for Post State. He'll tell me as soon as he knows, and we'll get it out as soon as we can of when Post State will play, who they will play, when they will play, where they will play, all of that. We'll put that on Facebook. We'll put it on the air as soon as we know and get you all the information. But just know that we'll have coverage of postseason baseball for Post State right here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. You're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Stations. We just hit 7 o'clock, and that will wrap things up for us here from Brandon. Thanks to Drew McIntyre back at the station. John McClure here signing off. It was a 5-3 win for Brandon Valley in Game 1. But Post State comes back and wins Game 2 3-1 to split the doubleheader as we say so long from Brandon.
You've been listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Chemlon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Door, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Yay Gare, AGE. First Fidelity. State Farm Becky Pottseva Agency. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota. Oahe Federal Credit Union. Missouri River Dentistry. Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping. Egtegra. Ferding Electric. Envirotech. Kruger Climate Systems. Stalkin Peterson LLP. Wagner Auto. The South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection. Gales Gas. First United Methodist Church. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Beck Motors. Nay Adam. American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency. Lamb Motors. Bank West. CHS River Plains. Faith Lutheran Church. Graham Tire. Kathy Sunshine Properties. Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre. Join us all season on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports for more Post-8 baseball. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota.